Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a briefly hiatus days off. This episode is going to be a little bit different. The last few weeks have been kind of weird. I've been doing work on and off to the verdict because after a whole bunch of stupidness and debacle, it's the car that I'm taking to California. And it's currently sitting on jack stands. And after this quick intro, I'll explain everything. So stay tuned. All right, so here we are. It is about a week before we take off for California. And the car has no exhaust. Still haven't changed the fluids or done the main maintenance stuff, but been picking away at stupid little stuff. So here's kind of the straight skinny of it. About 2 weeks ago, I jacked up the car and decided to take a look and see if that shutter I was thinking that was the transmission. I took a look to see if it was something else, if I was being dumb. Turns out I was being dumb. And it was the H-pipe hitting the e-brake bracket. Cranked out pretty good last time I did this. So. Gonna hit up the go-kart track. So every time I downshifted, the motor would shake the exhaust. Sound like that harsh shudder that a pilot bearing makes. So I felt pretty dumb, and I felt really stupid about the whole situation, that I like panicked and thought it was the transmission falling apart, and it just is what it is. I'm glad it wasn't worse because, it's just the exhaust, which kind of led into the next week's big debacle, which was last weekend. I bought a bunch of stainless pipe and some flex joints and flanges and everything, and decided I was going to put my own exhaust together, which for the most part went pretty smoothly. Okay, well, that didn't suck as bad as I thought it would. Do is get this flange on. There you go, we have like that much biting. Got it all cleaned up. The welds are a lot better now. I'm no professional welder. Those don't suck. Got the mid pipes all done and mocked up. See you tomorrow. Okay, it's Monday. Third gash of the day. Anyway, I'm gonna fire it up right now. Listen for leaks, feel for leaks. It's probably gonna leak because, let's face it, it's me. Every joint leaks. Like, my plan was to kind of get everything mocked up and tack welded, because I do have a welder over there, and it's like a flux core welder, but it, if you know what you're doing, you can get it to do little jobs, nothing crazy. And I should have stuck to that, but instead I got like I got confident with it, I guess, probably too overconfident, and started blasting welds out, and I welded the flanges up, did all that, and the welds weren't terrible. Lots of BBs because obviously flux core, they just do that, but I wire wheeled everything, cleaned it up, painted it, no rust, no pores, no holes, anything. But what I didn't realize is that I warped the flanges because I put too much heat in them. Damn it. Basically, I went through and I replaced the H-pipe with straight pieces of stainless. It lined up through the tunnel perfectly, cleared everywhere, and I actually had the axle over pipes lined up pretty well too, but they were just off enough that the mufflers didn't quite want to sit right, and actually the one RTR, that if you remember back when we got it, it didn't fit right from the beginning, and that joint was just way off to make it work. fired up the car, everything leaked. And I had a fit. I'll see you when I see you. Have a good one. I threw the GoPro on the bench and called the episode. Didn't even want to finish it. Which is kind of why I didn't put anything out, because honestly, I didn't have much. It's just all me cutting and grinding and welding and crawling back and forth underneath the car. That's my workspace. That was my workspace for a week. Yeah. So anyway, the exhaust didn't work out. I panicked ordered a catback exhaust from Pipes through American Muscle, and it's gonna be here Tuesday. I'm supposed to leave Wednesday night or Thursday, so it'll probably be Thursday. I'm gonna use my lunch break on Tuesday to go get the exhaust, kind of like we did when we did the RTR mufflers. Here's the bad part. I still have to adapt it to the flex joints I put in, which they'll be fine because I found a way to fix them. That wasn't the bad part of the exhaust. So I have to adapt them to that. I have the clamps, I have everything ready to go with that. But I don't want to adapt the mufflers, so the car is probably going to be insanely loud for the trip, which I don't mind because we're going to the home of hot rods, so why not sound like one anyway? So yeah, aside from the exhaust stuff, I've basically been nitpicking at little things with the car. Here, I was using a tire as a seat. Oh. So basically, the last week I've been kind of spending my nights doing stuff around the house and then coming down here to do some stuff to the car. So I'll show you everything that I've done so far, and we'll start in the motor. All right, so the first thing I did, my buddy Dylan came and visited. He has a sick S197 Mustang that he races, tracks a lot. And he's got lots of neat tips and tricks. And he had done a PCV delete, and he runs a air oil separator off of a GT4 Mustang. And the thing that I've needed to delete my PCV for the longest time is vacuum caps that are 3/8 for this Cobra Jet. And he just happened to know where to get them. So that's what I did. I'm now going to be running breathers off the PCV valves and capped off the intake. So A, this thing shouldn't go through as much oil as it did. And B, it might run a little bit better because it's not going to be misting oil into the intake manifold, which is, it's kind of a stupid system to begin with. I don't think you guys have ever really seen under here. Maybe you have, I don't know. If you're new, this is my motor. It's a Coyote, obviously, but instead of going like boost and stuff, I went with the Cobra Jet because RPM, less blazing tires, probably won't go to jail. Whatever. It looks cool. So yeah, that was the first thing I did. And then, was it last night or the night? It was last night. I don't know if I've shown you guys before. This part of the bumper was broken when I got this thing taken to the body shop. Now, S550s have little clips that are attached to the bumper cover here and clip into a bracket that sits on the fender. Actually, I can show you because what I've done is mounted it in with these things called quick latches now. So you can see the bracket sort of behind here. The clips broke off here. The body shop said, oh, we'll get back to you on fixing it, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they told me like, oh, we don't think it's our fault. We think that it was like that because of rubbing, blah, 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 whatever. I kind of choose not to fight about that shit because in the end, if somebody doesn't want to rectify their work, whatever, karma's gonna get them. It is what it is. So took it in my own hands and I got these quick latches, which is a common fix for these. I mean, it's not the greatest aesthetically to put a button on your fender, but it's kind of racy look. Kind of goes with the vibe at the front of the car. I don't know, whatever. Basically, it's just a button and a little nub on the inside. That's like a quick release. It's sort of like if you were to use a Zeus fastener or something, but a lot better. Those are actually made for air cleaner tops. just a button so you can pop your air cleaner off, but they work well for that. So I did that to both sides. It fixed the sagging bumper cover. Side's nice and solid. And I was able to fit the factory brackets behind there, just drill through them so that the bumper is still supported and doesn't push in, which is nice. And that cleared all that up. And then also what I did was rolled this fender because it wasn't rolled from the body shop. So I heated all this up, pull it out. It's not quite symmetrical the other side, but it clears the tire, which is really all I care about. And because of that one broken bracket too, the bumper still kind of flops this way, but it won't go any farther than that because it's supported that side. So yeah, basically I've done all that. I've got all the exhaust stuff sort of ready to go, waiting for the catback to show up. And I've got all the fluids over here that I really should be doing tonight, but I'm doing video instead because I can put out an episode. So yeah, I've got oil change. I got DCT, where else I did? Oh yeah, got DCTF for the transmission. Motul recommends this for the MT82. Read a bunch of reviews online and stuff, and guys say it works, so that's what I'm running. So yeah, everything from the last 2 weekends has basically been about trying to fix the exhaust and getting this thing ready. And basically, it's just been kind of doing figure eights. I mean, last weekend, the first week that I started this, I ended up working on the Monday and doing a bunch of stuff for Porsche because we were doing this classic car restoration there that was wrapping up. So I put in a lot of hours with that, and I just didn't have time at night to edit the videos. It was go to work, come home, fall asleep, go back to work. And sometimes you gotta do that. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of sit down and give you guys an update and show you a little bit of what happened in the last 2 weeks. I mean, I did film some stuff as you saw, but I mean, the episode would have been weird and all over the place and stupid to follow. So it just made sense to kind of, you know, put it all aside and use little bits, do this kind of thing. It just makes more sense to me. So yeah, once the exhaust arrives, we'll install that. There's gonna be a little tiny bonus episode, I think, of us putting the exhaust on, getting last little things buttoned up on this, and then getting on the road. This weekend, we're going to Area 27. Now, here's my issue is I don't really know if I'll be able to film very much of that. Simply because I have Monday off, and I have to get everything ready around the house, packing wise, and then finish up some last minute things for work. And I don't really know if I'm gonna have time between finishing all this stuff, packing, doing all this stuff to edit a full episode. So it might be just a shorty, I have no idea. We'll figure it out. Basically this whole weekend I'm leaving Friday night, which is tomorrow night. I'm shooting in the morning for VCMC. I have to shoot a dinner for Porsche, and then I shoot a track day for Porsche the very next day. I'm going to be doing video. And I'll be coming back Sunday night, I believe. So if I do get into anything, I'll have this with me. I don't know what I'll film or if I'll be up for it. It's just, I feel like I'm losing a bit of steam with this, so I'm not really gonna put a whole lot on my plate to edit and stuff like that. And especially like, I don't have a lot of followers and subscribers and stuff, and honestly, like, I started days off to basically be sort of a home video of things that I enjoy doing, and I wanted it to be motivation to keep going and pushing to do things like, you know, work on my old STI, buying the STI, keeping the verdict like in good shape, and doing this stuff. I'm just enjoying my time. Like, I don't want it to become like work, so I'm trying to keep it pretty stress-free. So, you know, I don't want to film, I'm not going to. It's just, that's not what this is about. This is about, you know, this is just about having fun, and if it ever gets more serious, it'll get more serious. I'm just not gonna push it. I'm gonna just enjoy what I'm doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I always encourage you guys to do the same thing. Just make the most of your time. Enjoy your days off. No matter what you do, just make the most of the time that you set aside for yourself, because if you don't, you'll go insane. And that's not a good thing. Anyway, guys, that's our update. This is where we're at with the car. I cannot wait to go to California. It's gonna be a really long trip. I'm gonna have the GoPro for the whole ride down. I will film everything. I don't know how I'm gonna edit it on the road. I may be able to swing it with my laptop and my new hard drive. We'll see. No matter what though, I will bring this along with me and it's gonna be a good time. All right guys, just like every week, I want you to enjoy your days off. Make the most of your time. Work on your car, screw stuff up, learn from your mistakes, get back on the horse, and just get it done. And go on road trips. Just, man, that's where the adventure's at. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you maybe this weekend. If not, I'll see you on the road. Have a good one.